We got an extra deep play today, but we're rooting for this player immensely. And under the radar gem we talked about last week, but we're going to get the opportunity to do it again. Terrell Jennings getting another chance, another crack for the Patriots with Steve-O out. We're going to deep dive his opportunity here again today because we are rooting for him, and we're going to give him that good juju because underdogs like this, you got to root for. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're doing these deep dives every day on as many players as possible. That way you know their advanced analytics, their situation, what you want to do with that player. Leave him on the bench, leave him on the waiver wire, pick him up, start him. Whatever is best for you, I'm going to give you that information. We're going deeper than anybody else, covering the waiver wire, and we're going to help you set your lineups with the must-start series, which is rolling out today. Check that out. Ask your questions in that comment section. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Stop missing out because Ric Flair's watching. Do not disappoint Ric Flair. But Steve-O's out again. He's out with the toe. Keishon Boutte is out right now, but that doesn't matter for this video. Steve-O's out. We're excited because we are watching it unfold again. I know Deion Johnson's here. It ain't matter because TreVeyon Henderson is going to be the lightning here. He hit for 12 fantasy points last week, 14 rushing attempts, 55 yards, 6 targets in that matchup against the Falcons. But our Thunder's rolling with Terrell Jennings here. We're excited for him. He scored the touchdown. 35 yards, nothing crazy. We know it's not Saquon Barkley. We're not confused for that, but we're rooting for the underdog here against Tampa Bay. We're rooting for him in deeper leagues, flex gambles. This is what you want to look at. Same instance as last week here. You're just wanting him to score that touchdown, get a few carries, get you 35, 40, 45, 55 yards, something like that. Maybe catch a ball or two, get that touchdown. And we got a fire matchup here. Remember, he wasn't being recruited out of high school. One of the reasons why is he was homeless. He was homeless. So dealing with offers, dealing with school, dealing with practice, dealing with that. Like, this is one of the reasons why you're rooting for this kid. We still go to Florida A&M. We still get to go to college. We still get to play college ball. But the odds were stacked against us.
You know, you both grew up in Jacksonville, but it wasn't easy for you.
Nah.
You were homeless once?
Yeah, I was homeless a couple times as a youngin', but I mean, it's never easy for no one. I don't have the hardest story out here. I'll just have one of the hardest stories. So
being homeless, though, is something, man.
It is something. It's something. It builds character, man, because you never know where you're gonna sleep at the next night.
Wow.
Yeah, luckily I have friends like him where I can he don't know the situation. Yeah. They just like you feel me? Take a village. So they open to me with open arms, not knowing the situation, but they're like, come on, man, yeah, you can stay.
Did you know that? Did you know he was homeless?
At one point, no. At one point, he didn't say anything, but it's like with my grandma, my brother, that's
house is open.
Yeah, house is open. So everybody at my grandma's house.
Did you sleep at his house?
Yeah, I slept at his grandma. So originally, when I say I slept at friend's house, I was sleeping at Grandma Yode's house for most of the time. My friend Cass' house. And then that's when it came with my special teachers that took me in. Guys,
that is so special.
Yeah.
But we made it happen. We go undrafted, but we go to the Patriots, we stick around. Our pro day numbers, 4.73 40-yard dash. However, you watch him on tape over at Florida A&M, this dude's got pop. This dude's got some burst. He's got a little bit of pull away on the tape. Lower level ball, but still there's some pull away there. You see that, but it's the size that stands out. Thick lower body, thick on the top as well. Nasty at contact, but he's slippery as well. Kind of slippery with that size. Very similar to a Manny Wilson over at the Packers because he can deliver at contact, but yet has the footwork to just get around you. And that's dangerous because he can take on a lot of touches. Also can block his face off as well. This is a very good, gritty running back, a lunch pail player with a lot of upside here in this offense, considering they can push the pace, they can get in the red zone here. That's good to see. Mike Vrabel saying good stuff about him. They're hoping he takes advantage of his opportunity. This was before the last game, but still, he was able to do something on the field. He's able to score. Excited to see what we can do here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're looking at this depth chart. Steve-O's out. You got Deion Johnson, who really hasn't done anything on his career. He's just siphoned some work here and there. Gibby's out. You got Hendo and you got Jennings. Hendo and Jennings together just seem like an awesome tandem. Steve-O has been all right this season. 2 RB2 weeks, 1 RB1 week. There was 1 year where he was top 3 in running back targets among all rushers. But still, Steve-O has not really been elite either, but he's been holding it down considering what he is. Hendo, though, last week, 12.7 PPR points. He's hit 3 times this season. We're waiting for him to go blast off, drafted in the 2nd round. Very good prospect profile. 5-star prospect out of high school, going to a stud school, Ohio State. Performed well as a freshman there. Was productive throughout his collegiate career. You see the speed. You see the explosiveness. You see how he's good in the passing game. And really, polar opposite of Terrell Jennings. Terrell Jennings, small school, 2-star, 1-star prospect, hardly ever looked at. Everybody wanted Hendo. Had over 40 offers per 24/7 Sports. Really more than that, because that's all 24/7 Sports had logged. Pretty much all of college football wanted him. Not being left behind. Blasts off as a freshman. Everybody's waiting for him to come out of the draft like 4 or 5 years ago, even before he even stepped foot at Ohio State. Polar opposite players, but yet you watch them on paper, they're kind of an exciting tandem here. Deion Johnson is a butt rock running back. There is nothing to see here. Like, they shouldn't let him touch the ball unless everybody's hurt. Like, there's no upside to this. Jennings should get the touches. I do not want to see him on the field whatsoever. I do not. He's got some production in 2021, but that's a long time ago in football years. We do not want him on the field. We do not want to see him. Rhamondre Stevenson is out. 36% share of the carries, out. Gibby is out. TreVeyon Henderson, Terrell Jennings, come on up again. Let's see if we can go blast off here. Hendo got the touches. He got the opportunities. But this is also a fire matchup for an RB2 to cross the goal line and get you something. And he's the big back. He's the guy that's going to get the goal line work. He's the guy that's going to get the short yardage work. He's going to get those opportunities. He's also very physical. This is a very interesting situation here. Hendo, electric still, 4.11 true yards per carry, 2.09 yards created per rush. We're waiting for him to go blast off. He's a little bit hesitant. He's trying to fill himself out. He's getting used to the speed of the game. Terrell Jennings, we're just happy you're here, son. We're just happy you're here. 3.77 true yards per carry, 1.56 yards created per touch. This is all per player profiler. This is on their advanced analytics, and I love their data sets here. I use it all the time in these videos, as you know. Terrell Jennings, he has a role here. It's just depending if you can use that role for your fantasy football lineups. And we know Hendo's going to get the work in the passing game. 11.22 routes ran per game. That's going to increase if this game goes off the chain. If it goes off the chain and it's a shootout, he's running 20, 25, 30 routes. That's where he could go off. You might catch a couple routes out of Jennings in this matchup, but he's going to be the hammer around the goal line. They might take Hendo out to put Jennings in around the goal line. Like, he might get vulture. He might be the vulture in this matchup. That's why he's the flex gamble here. You're looking at Jennings. He's averaging 2.44 yards after contact per attempt. We're happy you're here, son. We're happy you're here. 2.75 for Hendo. So both those running backs, below average, below 3, not where you really want them, but they're also in a prime spot to smash here with a lot of touches. Pass blocking rating. Last week for the season, Hendo was at 14. It went up 3 points after last week. That's kind of good to see. Jennings didn't crash. Actually, his went up from like 54 to 67.1. So Jennings is looking solid in pass protection. He's not leaving the field. Deion Johnson, 15.6. Jennings better not leave the field. We do not want to see Johnson out there at all. At all. Keep Westover out there. Have Westover get the carries. We do not want to see Dearness Buttrock Johnson out there. Patriots, Bucks here. 48.5 over under. That's what we're liking. That's what we're liking in that matchup. The last game the Bucs played in, that game got crushed by Spencer Rattler. He sucked so bad nobody was scoring fantasy points. But when you're looking at what they're allowing the running backs on the season, there have only been 2 games where they were able to hold the running backs in check. Technically 3 if you throw in the Seattle game. Charbonnet barely got to the fairway with 11.8 PPR fantasy points. Brees Hall held in check. Alvin Kamara and the Saints held in check. But that was a busted-ass game script. When it comes to fantasy points allowed per game, there are 7% more than league average last 3 games. 23.7% more than league average, 26.7 PPR points per game, getting blown up by Gibby and McCaffrey. They got blown up by Bijan. They are getting blown up by the studs. Hendo, though, explosive in the passing game, of course. But we got 48.5 over under here. So the one thing you can say is we're going to get some good movement in this matchup. I'm expecting this game to be fireworks. And if it's fireworks, the Patriots has to have a couple instances around the goal line. Terrell Jennings time. And he's going to be our Mike Allstott, even though he's not. Because I just imagine him just carrying bodies across the goal line and getting it. Like, we're trying to manifest this. We're not making a call. We're trying to manifest. We're not calling. I'm not a capper. I'm a manifester. I'm manifesting Terrell Jennings for you guys in your flex. Of course, this is for deep lineups, deep leagues. Of course, you got to be dire because this is a touchdown gamble. You're gambling on the touchdown. This is a good matchup to gamble it on, but it is a gamble. So you're gambling with your lineup spot here. But if you want some action, and you want some action on a UDFA here with a good story, and that when he does score, you're going to just jump up and down with joy. This is it. This is the play. Sometimes that's your cut. Sometimes when you're hedging, you hedge that way for the action, the storyline. So if you want that, you do not know between this backup running back, this backup running back, this wide receiver 3 and 4. There you go. There you go. There's your answer. That's what you want to do, because if it does happen, you're going to be jumping up and down for joy. You don't need them. This isn't for the long term. Also, you got to be able to make it fit. You got to have the roster requirements, and you got to be in dire need. If you're not in dire need, this ain't for you. But again, this is a story we are rooting for. This is a player the channel is rooting for. You're rooting for him too. And we're going to watch this on Sunday. We're going to be excited. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.